Hey Lizards, Gizmo here. I wanted to share some of the cigars we'll be smoking in March and April so you could smoke along with us if you'd like. For Cubans, we've got Cohiba Siglo 2, El Rey del Mundo's Schwa Supreme, and Punch Punch coming up. And for New Worlds, we've got EP Carrillo's La Historia in El Senador, Monte Cristo 1935 Nicaragua No. 2, Padron 2000 Maduro, and My Father the Judge, with much, much more to come. Have a suggestion? Email us, loungelizardspod@gmail.com. That's loungelizardspod@gmail.com. And now, let's get into the episode. Welcome to the Lounge Lizards Podcast. It's so good to have you here. It's a leisure and lifestyle podcast founded on our love of premium cigars, as well as whiskey, travel, food, work, and whatever else we feel like getting into. My name is Gizmo, and tonight I'm joined by Rooster, Senator Pagoda, and Bam Bam. And our plan is to smoke a cigar, drink some beer, talk about life, and of course, have some laughs. So take this as your 19th official invitation to join us and become a card-carrying lounge lizard. Plan to meet us here once a week. We're going to smoke a New World cigar tonight, share our thoughts on it, and give you our formal lizard rating. We'll discuss St. Patrick's Day, some history on Guinness, and Poobah calls in live from Florida, all among a variety of other things for the next hour. So sit back, get your favorite drink, light up a cigar, and enjoy as we pair Guinness Draught Stout with the EP Carrillo La Historia in El Senador. Our second EP Carrillo cigar on the pod tonight, the La Historia in El Senador, Senator's namesake cigar. We'll get into that in a little bit. A very dark, oily wrapper. Of course, as always, boys, covered up by the classic fabric and Scotch tape on the foot.
Yeah, it's fucking lunacy.
What are we doing with this, man?
Gotta love it.
What's going on here? You
What are
can't
we
take
doing?
The fabric out. I mean, it's like got Scotch tape on it.
It's Scotch tape on a premium cigar here.
We need to write EP Carrillo and just beg them to stop doing this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. And, you know, it's a nice looking cigar, too. It's covered up by these two pretty ornate bands here. And then the third foot band, like we're all trying to start to dig off here. So I'm just kind of buying time while we dig off this foot band. But
I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Is the strategy to peel the tape?
God,
Because it won't pull off without like totally messing up.
I
the
think if
cigar.
Poobah was here,
I
this
just-
thing would already be in the ashtray.
Mine just pulled right off.
All right,
I'm not having that kind of
Oh,
success.
Oh, look at that! I just got the tape off.
I just got mine. All right, we're good. So this is a 52 ring gauge by 5 3/8 inches cigar. A Robusta Extra, I guess you'd say. And we can get into some of the other stuff about. We've done a little bit on EP Carrillo before, but let's cut this thing so we're getting on the cold draw. Very exciting night here with our pairing.
Oh yeah.
So we're very excited about that. The guys are
Getting ready for St. Patty's Day.
champing at the bit to get into our beer.
The wrapper smells delicious. This cigar is quite nice.
I feel like it's already darker and like on the cold draw and the wrapper, it almost smells like sweeter than the Pledge did.
Agree, but
Yeah.
I got to say, this cold draw. Usually, we don't have a whole lot to offer on the cold draw. You don't really get much. We'll sometimes get cedar. That's pretty much it, or just tobacco. But on this, the cold draw, it's straight dark chocolate
It's
to me.
Yeah.
absolutely dark chocolate.
It's unusual.
It's
great.
like one of those Bouchards I used to eat.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten that on a cold draw with such like this. Like it's very
Yeah.
apparent. My draw is pretty tight though.
So it's funny. I was reading. Apparently, the draw is intentionally slightly firm.
Really,
Because in that CA thing I had sent around, that's what they say.
got it.
So far, mine's quite nice. Open,
Cool.
ready to go.
All right, so let's light this thing, boys. EP Korea, La Historia, El Senador.
Let's hope it smokes as good as it smells.
I hope so. Again, it's a 52 ring gauge by 5 3/8 inches cigar, Robusto Extra. Mexican wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, made in the Dominican Republic. And it comes in a very, very ornate box.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when the box arrived. I didn't expect this cigar to be so adorned. And
Yeah.
it comes in a box of 10, beautiful red box, this sort of felt black interior. It's very nice.
Oh wow.
So as we all toast here, it's really smelling nice in the room.
You're going to
Yeah,
continue to get that chocolate right in the first draw.
Yeah?
Cocoa. It's pretty velvety, actually.
Interesting.
That's ridiculous.
You get that sweetness from that Maduro wrapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nicely constructed cigar. A bit rustic on the wrapper.
Agree.
Yep. Beautiful though.
A lot of flavor.
Oh,
A lot of flavor.
a ton of flavor.
I'm impressed on the light.
Pagoda, this is right up your power alley.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Have you had this before, Pagoda?
No, I don't remember it. I've had the Encore, of course, which I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The Pledge. They tend to do really good cigars. And by the way, I agree with you. They're when they come in boxes, the boxes are pretty nice.
Yeah.
All of them, even the Encore boxes, are fantastic.
And these are, I mean, I was looking before we came on, I'm looking again. I mean, the price on these is not bad. What'd you pay for these?
It's crazy. So they retail for about $12 a stick, but you can get them online for as little as 7, 8, at most $9,
Wow.
$10 a stick.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a value for a flavorful cigar like
Yes.
this.
I saw this box for
That's ridiculous.
80, I think like $88.
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's definitely packing
That
quite a
is-
bit of strength in this thing.
Think about how cheap that is, actually. I got to go back to that price. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
price.
incredible, the price
Wow.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, I am shocked. I feel like when we reviewed that Oyo de Nicaragua Antaño, that was a dark cigar, and we were expecting a bomb of flavor, and we were left with not a whole lot of flavor. But this cigar, right on the light, you expect a dark Maduro like this to put out a
Yep.
really nice, rich flavor, and so far it's delivering that.
And the flavor is crisp and it's discernible, right? Not muddled at all.
And you know what's interesting too that I don't think I've said about a lot of cigars? This has a unique thing for me that well after I've pushed the smoke out of my mouth, well after, I'm still tasting.
On the finish, yeah.
The finish is probably one of the longest lasting finishes that I've had on a cigar.
Yeah, good point.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think the notes that we were provided, Senator, I'm not getting it so far. It's certainly the nougat, definitely the dark chocolate, but some of the other stuff they mentioned, baked apple, cinnamon, roasted nuts, I'm not getting yet.
So
but
what's funny
let's
is
see what,
when you look up other folks that have had this cigar, they have a completely different experience from CA where no one is talking about baked apple or half of the stuff they mentioned. The predominant thing I've seen that's been very common is a lot of chocolate in this cigar, and on the cold draw and right on the light.
And we are
You get
getting
that.
it tonight.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think in full force.
Now,
It's like a sweet, earthy cocoa
Yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
notes.
almost Padron like.
Yeah.
Brother, I think this is
this is very interesting.
quite a cigar.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Well, let's see how it
Yeah.
See how it plays out, of course.
progresses.
I can see the flavor profile ramping up right on this thing.
So just a quick story on how we picked this cigar. So a listener actually reached out to me. I had never heard of this cigar before and suggested that we review it since it has my namesake. The shape at least is El Senador. So a couple clicks later, and here's a box.
Shameless.
I've never seen Senator so willing to spend $100 on a stick he's never smoked.
Well,
Let that be known.
We get to talk about him for an hour.
Let that be. We're all going to say it for an hour.
Well, the El Senador.
You know, the one thing I didn't mention about the cigar, which is clearly obvious, it's box pressed, like
Yeah.
you know a lot of other Nicaraguans and a lot of the EP Carrillos are. Are there EP Carrillos that are not box pressed? Do you know, Pagoda?
No, I know the Encore is definitely box
Yeah,
pressed.
yeah,
And
so is the pledge.
Yeah.
So I guess all their stuff is box pressed, but
I love a box press.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
I got to tell you, you know, we talk about smoking multiple cigars a day. A lot of times when we sit down to smoke, unlike other very professional, perfect people who review cigars, you know, sometimes we'll have a cigar before or a Cuban or something. This is my first cigar of the day today. It's giving it to me.
It could be a one and done cigar.
Yeah.
With the profile that it has, depending on your timing and available time that you have.
I don't get the strength in this though. It's not.
Yeah, I'm more with Rooster in that.
Yeah?
I think there's a
it's
distinction
medium.
here. I think it's full flavor, but I think
Right.
it's medium,
Medium in
strength.
strength.
where,
Right.
Like I'm not getting a lot
Agreed.
of nicotine.
I'm not saying
Agreed.
nicotine wise, like I'm not getting buzzy. it's really
It's flavorful.
full flavored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Very accurate. Yep.
Great combustion as well.
Yeah.
And the purposeful tight draw is working.
Agree.
It's definitely working.
It's a bit snug. Not
Yeah, not bad.
Not tight.
Not
Yeah.
bad at all.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I taste chocolate all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's very, very good. Burning
the-
well.
And the booze pairing.
Look at he's champing at the bit. He wants
It's
in.
a home run tonight, gentlemen. A
So we
home run.
have cans. Pagoda was so kind to pick up cans of Guinness
draft.
Stout, and it has the nitrous in the can, which is obviously very cool. So I'm very interested to see how these pair together here, boys.
Go for it. Is this the first or second beer that we've done?
First.
It's the first?
We haven't done any beers.
Okay. I thought long ago, maybe that Oktoberfest thing. No.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Our first beer.
Our first beer in honor of St. Patrick's Day coming up this week. Very exciting.
Yep.
Obviously, wishing that Grinder and Poobah were with us. But well, this is a really nice pairing with this cigar.
I mean, can I say the obvious? This is the perfect pairing.
It absolutely is.
I mean, this is like a rich chocolatey cigar paired with just the chocolate milk of beer. I mean, it's
It's fucking masterful, Rooster. Well done.
that was
yeah, that was a
call.
good call, Rooster. And you know, if a listener out there is trying to think of what to do for St. Patrick's Day this upcoming weekend, I would absolutely run to the store and grab one of these cigars
Oh, yeah.
to pair with your Guinness.
Yep.
And for the folks who don't drink, Guinness is rolling out. We talked about it on a previous episode, I think. They're rolling out their 0.0, their non-alcoholic stout,
Right.
which is on its
Yeah,
coming
can't
out. And
wait
I
for
think
that.
it's nitrous infused as well in the can.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I know that a local former clubhouse of ours is doing an event in the next few days, celebrating the launch of that. So pretty cool.
I gotta say, I already like this better than the pledge.
I'm 1,000%
Oh,
with
yeah.
you.
No doubt about it. In fact, I was just thinking, I know you guys love it when I reminisce about other cigars and compare. I feel as good as when I smoked the Liga number 9. Just from the point of view of the feeling that I'm getting and some of the notes and just the visual on the stick, it's really quite similar.
I mean, an inch in, I got to say, so far, this is very satisfying to me, more so than the Liga was at this point.
I think the Liga had more flavor.
It did have more flavor.
I think the
For me.
Liga though also had more strength.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
And I mean strength and a little more nicotine, just a
did.
bolder cigar.
It
This for me is a bit more preferable in that my sweet spot for a Maduro in terms of strength and flavor, as we know, is the Exclusivo, the Padron, 1964. And I feel like this is just about the same level of strength where I think the Liga is a step above that. And then flavor-wise, I agree that the Liga has more flavor, but this has enough for me. I mean, this is a lot.
Sure.
Yeah,
great.
Liga had a huge smoke output.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it was insane.
I found the finish to be a little similar to this, a little bit.
Yeah.
What
but also, I mean, this is half the price.
Dude, think about
true.
that.
It's true.
So great value.
$7.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Not 7, but like.
Yeah,
9.
it's sorry.
It's almost
It's
9.
it's 8 to 12 you can get it for.
Yeah.
Still.
But with tax, I think I literally paid 8 something a stick.
And I'm starting to get a bit of some baking spice, maybe cinnamon with my cocoa here.
I agree. As
Yeah.
I'm getting further into this, I'm getting a little cinnamon
A
and
little
exactly
baking
that
spice.
baking spice.
Which makes it even more enjoyable,
Oh yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So I have some interesting facts that I pulled up knowing that we were going to do Guinness. I thought some of these things were pretty cool. So we were talking about the little nitrous ball in the bottom of the can. When they invented that in the late 80s or early 90s, it actually won the Queen's Award for Technology in 1991. And the thing it was running against was the internet. The ball of nitrous in the Guinness can
It beat the internet.
beat the internet for the Queen's Award.
Interesting decision in hindsight.
I could see that. At least Guinness is a lot more enjoyable than clicking away.
So I wonder what the difference is when the Guinness in the bottles, and then when you drink the draft. Most people do prefer the draft,
Yeah.
Yeah.
over the bottles.
Got to get the cans,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Another thing I thought was interesting was obviously the Guinness Book of World Records. It's based, they're tied to the beer.
I had no idea.
Yeah. It was in 1951, the managing director of Guinness's brewery, Sir Hugh Beaver, Where's
The-
Where's
has to-
Poobah when we need him?
That
Should
has,
I
that has
should I
to be-
begin?
That
Should I
has to
begin?
be a lizard name. That can't be real.
He had a pub argument about the fastest game bird in the UK, and then that's what they came up with the superlative-ridden Book of World Records.
There's a strip club named Sir Beaver somewhere.
Is that true?
Yeah. No.
And finally, on Guinness, that I thought this was interesting. Guess when their lease runs out on their brewery? They have a very long lease that ends in the year 10,759. So, do you guys do anything for St. Patrick's Day? I know none of us are Irish, but do you guys do anything?
Drink.
Yep.
Yeah, it's usually a fun drinking holiday. I mean, I feel like when you're young and in college and all that, you go out to bars and everybody's drinking Guinness and
It's an opportunity to gather.
what are those called? When you've got the shot with whiskey and
Boilermaker.
Baileys.
Oh, Boilermakers.
No, no,
Not
no, no, no,
Boilermaker.
no. Car bombs.
Oh yeah,
Car
bombs.
bombs. That's what it is.
Mm.
That's what.
You put the shot in the Guinness. You have to chug it.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
the
basically,
Baileys
before
and
the Bailey's
Jameson.
curdles, that's why you really got to chug it.
That sounds
Jesus.
horrible.
it does.
it's excellent. It tastes really good.
Yeah,
I used to have a lot of those.
yeah.
I used to enjoy eating corned beef and cabbage.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah. A corned beef
Some
sandwich.
soda
awesome.
bread,
Oh,
corned
yeah.
beef, cabbage.
I
With
think we do that.
Spicy brown mustard.
Yeah,
Soda
me.
bread is probably the hardest thing to make right, or that tastes good.
yeah, it's cheap enough to buy.
Because most soda bread it's just so dry,
It's dry.
and crumbly. I mean, literally, it's like you're.
Mm.
It's drier than a scone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Had a great scone earlier in Brooklyn. Oof,
did you?
fantastic.
Yeah, I love scones.
Love me a good scone and a
Love scones.
black cup of coffee. I needed a cigar, but couldn't do
Should
it.
have had one.
This reminds me of the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode with scones. Remember at Latte Larry's?
Latte Larry's, the
At
Spike
Smoky
Store.
Joe's.
Whole Foods.
It's
has
not a
good
scone.
scones. Yeah, Whole Foods makes great scones.
Yeah, haven't had one.
Whole Foods makes great everything.
Yeah, this is a really good cigar.
Mm.
I'm stunned.
I'm praying that it keeps up or gets better through the last third
If it
of the
continues,
cigar.
I can envision a good score on this thing.
It's absolutely going to have a good score if it stays where it's at.
Yeah, if it continues like it is in the first third, I will smoke another one of these.
The finish,
And I'm shocked I'm saying that. I was very nervous buying these.
Yeah.
Either this was going to be a pleasant surprise or a complete disaster. And so far, it's delivering.
And what Gizmo said earlier is proving true. You know, the finish lasts so long, you're getting a lot of the flavor well after the finish on the stick. It's fantastic. Still getting the cinnamon and chocolate here.
I love the New World cigars because you can take the bands off so easily
Yeah.
compared to the Cuban sticks.
Compared to the onion skin bands.
Multiple layers.
So it looks like they make this in four
Sizes.
individual sizes. Yeah, the Donna Elena, which is a Toro, the E3, which is also a Toro, but it's almost like a Toro Gordo, I guess. It's 54 by 6.7 inches.
Oof.
The El Senador, that's a big cigar.
That's a big cigar.
Christ.
Too much.
El Senador, which we're smoking now, and then the Regalia Sticilia, which is a Gordo, which is, oh my God, it's 58 ring gauge by almost 6 inches long.
It's pagoda size.
Yeah.
That's like a
It's
chomping
Loves
attorney.
that.
That's too much of a
Well, I hope you're talking this cigar.
too much of a good thing.
So this was the number 2 cigar in 2015
Oh, wow.
with Cigar Aficionado.
Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
the Senador.
2015.
I think the La Historia, but it might have been a different size.
Let me check which Vitola it was. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's high praise. Number
Was
2.
it
Number
was it
2.
ranked this year at all?
No.
No.
No, but it already got a high.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like they put a gap between them.
But
Yeah,
there,
they try to space them
there
out.
must have been another EP that was up there.
There was an EP in the top
there
25.
was.
Yeah.
That was sort of the trilogy because the La Historia was 2 1 year, the Encore was
Was
1
one.
year,
Hmm.
and the Pledge was 1.
But Padron's got it 4 times, which is the most, I think.
That's true.
Oh, that's great. All right. Then
Most number ones.
Makes
so
makes sense.
the year that this was number 2, it was the E3, so it was one of the Toros, pretty big Toro. The number 1 cigar that year was the Oliva Melanio Figurado.
Very smooth flavor. Excellent.
Yeah, it's picking up in spice for me.
Yeah.
Same.
I actually like the spice. I feel like the flavor's getting more complex as you smoke it, which is nice.
I'm liking it even more now than in the beginning.
Same.
Right?
So I got a good question for you guys. We're not a sports podcast, but this is an interesting sports story I saw today that I was curious because we haven't talked about it. But did you see that Calvin Ridley on the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons got suspended for the year?
What a
Banned for a
buffoon.
year.
Buffoon.
So this is what's interesting, though, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. Is twofold. Number one, I guess I'm laying out my position here, but number one, he was away from the team, I guess, for something. He bet some parlays, but he
opted out during the COVID year.
But he also took a mental health thing.
Yes.
That's when this happened. So he was betting that his team was going to win. Now, here's my question. If you're a boxer, if you're an MMA fighter,
You're allowed to bet on yourself.
you can go to the Floyd Mayweather every time goes and bets on himself.
Yeah.
So my question is number one, why can't you bet on yourself?
Mm.
Even if you're not playing. Now, listen, if you don't bet on if you bet against yourself, I think you should be, hanged publicly. But to be suspended for a year betting on your team to win, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Isn't it insider information if you're betting on your team that it's not a level playing field, that other people don't have the same information, and you might have some friends inside getting some inside information.
But if you're betting on them to win,
I think it overall creates a negative environment, and I think awful precedent for
was he only
professional
betting
players.
on winning and not?
he was only betting on his team winning. He did not bet his team to lose at all. Now, here's the other interesting thing.
NFL players, it's frowned. I don't know if it's illegal for them to bet, but it's kind of frowned upon by the
The
league
union, yeah.
to
Well,
bet
he's
on
suspended for a
games,
year.
to do actually any gambling.
He's suspended for the year because of that. Now, and I'm arguing that. Now, my other thing that I thought was interesting too, obviously, with how much sport betting partnerships have gone on with a lot of these leagues, there's a prop bet now as to what is going to be his first game back. Like you can bet on what game and what day
It's like,
he's
what
going to
can't you
return
bet on?
to the
Yeah, you
NFL.
can bet on anything.
But that's kind of screwy.
I don't know. I may be complicating this, but I guess in principle, I'm not opposed to the idea of a person or even a team betting on themselves, though. That's the type of thing that needs to be disclosed. So I guess I'm wondering if he was placing these bets and not disclosing at all that he was doing this. And I say that because, right, if it's not being disclosed, then we don't know if they're betting for or against or anything like that. But I guess this also gets complicated from an enforcement standpoint because say even a player discloses they bet on themselves, how do we really know that Floyd Mayweather or someone's not betting, elsewhere to bet against themselves? So the enforcement of this, I think, becomes really difficult, which is probably what begs the case for just banning it because it could undermine the game if there are guys that are placing bets for their team to lose and could be tanking games through bookies or other means where just anything remotely.
I mean, they're going to look back at every single game that he played, throughout the season in the past to look at plays like, did he do something to purposely?
Well, I think they did that already because I guess they took about a month or more to do an investigation before they announced it.
Well,
so
there was a game where actually Falcons had a horrible season. They had like 4 wins.
Yeah.
But they were playing another team that had, they were like much ahead. And they talked about this today, and he actually fell or slipped, seemed like purposely before he got into the end zone.
Oh.
But that goes
Rooster.
that goes
Oh
the
my
other
God.
way.
Yeah.
If he's betting on winning,
Sure.
So if I'm a player on the Jets, and I know my team's going to lose, and they will.
Always bet on them to
The
lose.
sadness in his voice when he said that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to place the bet. I'll have my brother or my
Sure.
buddy.
Right.
Here's $100,000. We're going to lose to Tampa Bay, and you fucking know it.
Yeah, go place the bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
By the way,
Why not have someone else place the bet? Why do it yourself?
the owner of Pittsburgh Steelers,
Mr. Rooney
you know how he bought the team?
on a bet?
He won that money on horse racing in one day.
Wow.
Wow.
And he bought
Wow.
that team
What?
in one
Fantastic
day.
story.
In
Jesus.
one day.
That's incredible.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
God bless that horse because he's a damn good owner.
He
I'm
is.
sorry.
He
I mean,
is.
he
He
is
is.
easily one of the greatest owners in the history of football.
I agreed.
Guy's done a lot of great stuff.
I
Agreed.
mean, this is going back, I don't know, God knows how many years, but when
Wow.
That's crazy. So we're coming into the second third here on the La Historia El Senador. I am really enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
I'm thrilled too.
Shocked.
steak.
It's shocking.
I don't have a single complaint yet.
Yeah, this is one of the better non-Padron Nicaraguan cigars that I've ever had.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
Now, it may fall apart, but so far.
And for the price, it's really spectacular.
Yeah. Jesus. They could be definitely charging more
Oh, yeah.
if this holds all the way through.
Can we edit that? I don't want these to go up in price.
They're gonna.
Because I will buy these. I will
Yeah.
for sure. I'll
So
buy
would
these.
I.
Yeah.
We have a couple good sticks coming up. A couple shocking sticks. I think. Obviously you've heard it. You heard it at the beginning of the episode, but Padron 2000, which Senator's
So,
teed up for us in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I've not seen Senator react to a cigar the way I watched him react to that.
I'll
the other
just
day.
say, buckle up.
Really?
I ordered a box of these, which so far is really delivering.
Yep.
And a box of the Padron 2000. And I've had a number of friends tell me you should try that stick. And I had a larger ring gauge of the 1000 series that I really, Pagoda was nice and shared with me. I really didn't enjoy it.
Mhm.
I couldn't even smoke it, in fact. But that little 2000, it's close to the size of the Exclusivo. For the price point, wow.
Wow.
All right.
I'm curious to see how you guys feel. It's not as complex as an Exclusivo, but it's I think you'll be very surprised.
and we got to do that French fry stick.
The
Papas Fritas.
Papas Fritas from
Senator raved
go.
about that cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, made me want to buy it the next day,
I know.
and it was good. Fantastic.
I'm curious to hear what Rooster thinks about the 2000.
Yeah.
No, they're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Never had any of the 1000 series Padrones. 1000, 2000.
I
none.
hadn't until
Ever?
recently.
I have had 3000 and 4000. I don't enjoy them, but similar to what Senator said, I haven't had the 2000, so I'm interested to see. So, anyways, that's another preview of what's coming up in the next few weeks on the pod. We got some good stuff, but I can't wait to try that. So, this is interesting. Our resident Irishman has been texting me, knowing that we're recording the pod. Not only does he want to chime in on our Irish festivities, but he's also wants to give us an update live from Florida.
All right. Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's happening now?
It's going to happen right now.
You are a technical wizard.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it sounds. But
So I sent a video of Senator pouring the Guinness. I think that shook him up a
that
bit.
probably did it.
Hello, Poobahs, pickup or delivery?
He lives.
What's up?
Well, made no vegetables? Hey, bro, what do you need?
Another pack of Guinness, please.
We need some Afrin.
We decided to have you on, and obviously you're a resident Irishman for our St. Patrick's Day special here with some Guinness, and we're smoking an EP Carrillo La Historia, which is surprisingly
El
very good.
Senador, please don't forget.
El Senador. Senator got it because of its namesake, but we decided to have you on. And what's going on down in Florida?
What's going on down in Florida? Well, there's lots of tanning. People like to tan. Here.
Bikinis?
They like to soak their bodies in the sun, so there's a lot of that. There's odd behavior at times. I mean, as demonstrated by some of the photographic evidence. I mean, people walk around half nude down here. They valet with no shirt on, get their cars from the hotel in thongs. It's quite odd, but
I'm sure you're covering your
very
eyes.
nice. The weather's good.
Sounds like heaven.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Weather's good. So what are you guys drinking tonight?
We're having a Guinness in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're missing.
Yeah, the Guinness.
You are missing a
So,
pairing.
I love Guinness. I mean, we all love Guinness. And I can drink a pint of Guinness with no hands, by the way. Just
That's not surprising at all, honestly.
Does that apply in the shower?
You can guzzle it down because there's like no carbonation. I can do a demo, like next time.
Perfect. What's Guinness like in the shower?
Guinness like when?
In the shower.
Oh, in the shower. Smooth, chocolatey and tasty. Enjoy it everywhere.
Tell Poobah that his towel behavior is something we're going to we need to discuss soon.
Oh yeah, we got a full
God.
report on what you do with towels after your shower. Senator gave us a whole thing.
Yeah, I used a towel one time.
No good.
Dude, that's crazy. Man. That's
no
What,
good.
what do you go through? 30 towels a month?
Oh, yeah. Somewhere.
How many towels do you own?
Good question. None are in rotation. None are fully stocked, obviously, due to the churn. So I can't give you a quantitative answer. But many.
So
Plus
explain this. So you
plus
take
the pool towels, so that's what I get when I get in real trouble. When I go into that stockpile, which is there's regular towels and then they're pool towels. And when I go into the pool towel stockpile, that can get problematic from a relationship perspective. But we can explore all this another time. But yes, I use a lot of towels.
So just to clarify, every time you take a shower, you use a new towel.
Hell yes.
Has he ever used the same towel twice?
Yes, but I don't like it.
Oh man.
Yes.
Have you
but
ever
I don't-
used
I don't
somebody
like
else's
it. Like
towel?
I use a hand towel a couple of times.
Okay.
But
All
after
right.
that, it has to go.
Wait a minute.
It has to go into the bin.
This applies to hand towels too?
It applies to hand towels too.
No. I'll use a hand towel like a couple of,
Okay.
like
Okay. Thank
a
you.
number of times.
Do
Yeah,
you ever
yeah,
share
yeah.
towels?
Do you ever
Just
share
after I
towels?
shower. I'm done. I use the towel to its completion. I deplete its capability.
Its capability. God bless Mrs. Poobah.
So we look forward to having you back, man. Looking forward to it.
I look forward to coming back. Florida's great. It's a great place. High speed limits, lax regulations, low taxes. Gas is very high. I mean, here just like everywhere else, but it's good. I look forward to checking back in and rotating back into the world. But for now, I'm going to just enjoy myself.
Well, enjoy it, man, and we look forward to having you back, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Peace and love.
Peace and love, Poobah. All right, there's our Poobah update live from Florida. Can you believe it? He sounds like he's having a terrible time.
I'm still not over the towels. I'm sorry. I've never heard something so crazy.
Yeah, that's like Martha Stewart. Apparently, Martha Stewart uses every day gets a new set of bed sheets.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day, new sheets.
Wow.
And Michael Jordan, a lizard himself, every time he played a game, he put on a new pair of shoes, very famously. So there are crazies out there in the world like Poobah. So what are you guys thinking about this cigar? This is moving a lot faster than I expected.
I'm looking at some of you guys. I'm taking my time with this. I almost worry some are smoking a little fast.
I don't smoke fast. This is definitely moving along quite a bit. Bam Bam's handing out more Guinness.
Thank you, Garcon. I like that I can say that for once. I'm not the one serving.
Is it dead? No, don't open another one. I'm good.
We need to use the saber on the bottles of Guinness.
I want to go to Ireland.
I do too. I've never been. I have some friends that went. Pagoda, you've been, right?
Yeah, I've been to Dublin actually with my wife. She was pregnant then. We ended up going to the Guinness brewery as well, which was fantastic. Great experience. Although what I couldn't understand was you had to buy Guinness You know, like typically in breweries, when you go around and you end up at the bar, you get a free Guinness. And I think it was like very expensive. I remember it being like 50, 60 euros to get in. And I think it might have included one Guinness in it. And then if you want another one, you had to purchase it. I've also been to the Heineken brewery where they used to just give boatloads of beer. You know, they used to bring trays. But I guess things are changing.
So when you say you had the Guinness at the brewery, did you taste the freshness?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like
Fantastic.
dramatically different?
You know, it feels different, right? Because you're in that environment, you think it's better. You know, I believe there's like there's a source of water just around the corner, which makes it really makes Guinness what it is. And I think there was some conversation on the fact that you know, Guinness started exporting globally, and oftentimes Guinness would not taste the same. You know, when it was being shipped, you know, to different continents because of the weather and different, you know, I guess pressure, or I'm not sure, but I remember just really, really enjoying the Guinness, and the fact that you feel good. You know, you listen to the story at that point in time. You're in Ireland. You're having a great time. You know, you're visiting a brewery. Like for me, it was definitely a great experience. Like it's a must do.
Yeah. I mean, we should definitely do it. We've talked about it with Grindr. We need to do a lizard trip over there.
Yes, we do.
Honestly, any of the like just famous breweries are really, really cool to visit. I mean, I've done some work in my career in the beer space, and having visited, you know, the Miller Brewery out in Milwaukee and the Coors Brewery out in Golden, Colorado, it's incredible, honestly. And to your point about the freshness, I mean, I couldn't believe I was talking to some of the brewers and even the head brewmaster at Miller, and asking some of these guys what their favorite Miller beer is. And, you know, they make Blue Moon, they make so many different beers. And I couldn't believe the number of guys that were telling me that Miller High Life is their favorite beer that they brew. And I remember trying it there in this very fancy glass, you know, the champagne of beers they
That's
call
right.
it.
Yep.
And it was actually pretty good. But when I've had Miller High Life in college, or, you know, it sucks when you have it, you know, in some packaging. So there's something to just a freshly brewed beer at the source.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty special. And the history of all these places is just incredible.
that's spectacular.
What's also great about just you know, traveling, and when we were in Dublin, we were visiting bars, and I remember being in a bar on a Sunday evening, and there were a couple of guys who were singing. You know, they had the guitar and just hanging out there and singing in the bar. And so for tips, you would actually buy them a pint of Guinness. So we bought them a couple of rounds of Guinness. It was great, and people keep switching. There are different musicians who come with different instruments, play it, sing. It's just such a great environment. I think Dublin is one of my favorite cities to visit, for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's one of the European cities and countries that I haven't been to. I've been to many, but I have not been to Ireland.
I will say, as you know, I'm big on air travel and I have strong preferences.
We know.
I unexpectedly found myself flying Aer Lingus because a flight of mine got canceled on British Airways from Seattle to Paris, which is there are not many flights that fly that route. And BA canceled my flight because there were so few people on the plane, and I had to take an Aer Lingus flight. And I will give them credit. Their business class product, fantastic. They've got massagers built into the chairs.
Ooh.
The flight attendants, I mean, you'd expect the Irish hospitality. It was so fun on that plane. I mean, everyone, it was just like a party. It was
That's awesome.
It was phenomenal.
So let me guess, did they serve haggis for lunch?
No, they actually, the beef was filet mignon.
Wow.
And it was actually edible.
No blood sausage?
No. In Coach, I'm sure they were serving that.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. El Senador. Oh, so I think we'd be remiss. I know we're recording this about a week early, so we can't, pontificate about selection Sunday or what's going on with the tournament. But obviously, always lined up around St. Patrick's Day is the start of March Madness.
Yeah.
So obviously, Coach K finished his last game the other night. got
Yikes.
yeah, it wasn't good.
That was sad.
No.
You know what I thought was interesting is they called it Coach K Senior Night, and they didn't honor the seniors that were
jeez.
graduating. They did not honor the graduating seniors, which I thought was funny. And Coach K obviously wasn't too thrilled.
Yeah,
Getting-
that was a beatdown.
You know, it was
I
a
mean,
poor showing.
start to finish. Duke did not look good.
Who do you guys have any favorites in the tournament this year?
Longhorns, yeah.
Texas.
Texas.
Oh, there you go, Pagoda.
I'm hoping Seton Hall makes a run, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
me too.
We'll see.
My team won't be in the tournament this year. I'm very disappointed. It looks
Does your
like,
team have a basketball team?
They do, and for the record, the Ivy League plays in
they
every
do.
every single March Madness. Period. Whoever wins the Ivy League
I
gets
know,
a
of
berth.
course.
They have a pretty good team.
Lynn Saturday.
Yeah.
They do. They do.
Princeton's got an excellent team as well.
Yeah, they're number one in the Ivy League.
Yeah, it's
they're
ridiculous.
they're probably they're
perennials.
definitely going to be there.
Yeah. Rutgers is a surprise this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
playing
obviously,
very well.
obviously we're
Done
Jersey
well.
guys, so
Yeah.
we're rooting for our Jersey teams, and some of us are. Anyway.
Yeah, well, they've got a legendary a tie to a legendary basketball player in Ron Harper.
That's right.
His
Yep.
son is a star on that team.
Yep.
Yeah. And then speaking of NBA's heating up quite a bit too.
It is.
We've been watching a lot of that while we smoke cigars. We sit in the lounge, our clubhouse, and there's like 6 TVs going with all different games and sporting events. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
I got to give LeBron credit. I mean, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. There's nothing I dislike actively about the guy. I'm just not a big fan. But 56 points the other night
that
against
was
the
amazing.
Warriors of all teams.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, he had 50 something
50
against
something.
the Nets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Unreal.
played
Unreal.
incredible.
yeah. It was just fun. Did you see after that LeBron game, Matt Stafford, now Super Bowl champion Matt Stafford, was sitting courtside, and LeBron walks right up to him and his wife after and said, "I can't have you in the building and not put on a show." I mean,
that's
the
a great
fact that
line.
it was just he was dominant start to finish.
Yeah, he was.
And you said what? You said a stat the other day that I thought was interesting about LeBron. That even for me,
Yeah,
I'm not a
wow.
huge sports guy, but the stat you said was pretty wild.
This was crazy. So I read LeBron is the only player in NBA history to have scored 50 or more points when he was under 21 years old and over 35 years old.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Only player ever to do that.
That's wild.
Yep. He was a tank that game.
Yeah.
A tank.
Speaking of tanks,
You're holding a tank.
I'm holding a tank. This cigar is really good.
It is.
I still can't believe I don't have anything to complain about with
Can't
this stick.
stop puffing on this
Yeah,
guy.
and
You really
Rooster
can't.
too. I would have thought that if anybody would have disliked this cigar, it would be Rooster.
I
No,
felt
it's
the other
pretty- It's
way.
pretty good.
Connoisseur corner.
I as soon as I could see how flavorful this was, I said Rooster should. He likes a full cigar. This would be
and Pagoda.
in his wheelhouse.
Yeah,
and
right.
Pagoda.
Right up your alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, really enjoying it for sure.
You know, any cigar that has chocolate, cocoa, earthy notes,
A bit of cinnamon.
I'm in.
Who
Yep.
wouldn't be in, right?
You
Yep.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the price point too, I mean, that's what I've talked about this before. That's what I like about doing the podcast. Obviously we're trying to provide a lot of value for the listener, but for us, we're trying cigars that I normally would have never reached for, or purchased, or even had interest in. And I'm finding stuff that's really at a great price point that is just fantastic to throw in a rotation.
I'll say it again. That we've had a bunch of New Worlds that I haven't smoked in 7-8 years that I've now gone out and bought a few boxes of and now have.
Yeah.
We kind of revisit those old favorites.
And, as some of the stuff that we can't get our hands on at various times, if it's Cuban or not, even some of the New World stuff is hard to get our hands on right now. We have notices on these websites that send us an email when they come back in stock, and we're texting the group chat and, hey, get the sticks. They're available. It's nice to have options,
Yes,
of stuff that's smoking well.
absolutely.
This is a good option for our clubhouse to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
get
They should
these.
get this.
They should
Yeah,
get these.
definitely.
Great point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you guys ready to do the FLR, the formal rating on our Guinness tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I know what this rating's going to be, but
I'm at a 9.
very nice.
Clean, crisp 9.
Pagoda.
Could
10.
easily,
I
yeah,
love
honestly,
Guinness.
it could easily be a 10.
Okay. Senator?
I'm at a 9.
I'm at a 10. I love it
Mm-hmm.
so much.
Yeah, I'll do a 9.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but if you think of beers just generally, I think Guinness pairs so well with cigars.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm so glad you said that because I think Guinness pairs better with a cigar than any beer, period.
Totally agreed.
I think a lot of the stouts and porters will do well with anything that's chocolatey and
Yeah.
velvety like this.
Yep.
Even padrones
Yeah.
would do well with
Oh, absolutely.
stouts and
No doubt.
porters.
And I'm realizing I should qualify that. Any new pairs better with any new
New
worlds.
world.
Yes, that's a good
Right.
point.
Yes.
That's a good
I
point.
would not have this with a Cuban,
Right.
All right, so
except maybe for the Maduro one.
Oh, for sure. That's
oh yeah,
That would be a great
and
pairing.
the Cohiba
Maduro.
Maduro, that would be really good with that too.
Right.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Very good call.
Yeah.
Senator, what do we got?
9.4.
Ooh, very nice.
Huge recommend.
That's the least surprising score
Of
ever.
course.
But I mean,
Yeah.
a 9.4 for Guinness, I think
But
is perfect.
I will say, I'm sure there are plenty of listeners that have actually never paired a Guinness with a cigar.
It's true.
I say that because I only recently started doing that. I think that's when we had joined one of our clubs
That's
where they've
right.
got great Guinness on tap.
Yep.
And to Poobah's credit, he's a big evangelist for Guinness, and he'd order around for everyone at the table, and that was one of the first few times I actually seriously paired Guinness with a stick, and it's a perfect pairing.
Same here. I've never had it with a cigar.
And you kind of want the Guinness at an Irish bar,
Yeah.
where there's a lot of volume, those kegs kind of go through. and
Served at the
it's-
right
it's gotta be
temperature.
served right temperature, and there's a way to serve it.
Yeah.
right?
Way to pour
A way
it.
to pour it.
Yeah.
Actually, it reminds me of when I had just started smoking cigars in late 90s, early 2000s. I used to hang out at a bar called Rosie O'Grady's in the city. And in the basement, you could smoke cigars, and we would have Guinness with the cigar.
That is so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Let's go.
I wish that were the case today. It's so hard to find good spots to smoke.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to call out to listeners, Grinder certainly falls in this category. When he returns, I think we'll be doing more beers. But if you have a beer that you think pairs very well with a cigar, please let us know.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, email us or find us on Instagram or whatever it may be. Let us know.
And also, more importantly, if you have cigars that you want to recommend for us to
Yes.
rate, because
Oh.
I can't take credit for this EP Carrillo. This was a listener who had suggested this to me. So please send them our way.
Very successful recommend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. El Senador doesn't let us down.
Senator never lets anyone down.
Wait, who are we talking about?
I just have to say, the fact that that pledge prequel that EP Carrillo makes got Cigar of the Year in a 98. That's even higher than the Shark and the Padron that just got Cigar of the Year. And this apparently only placed second one year. For me, this is hands down better than the
Much
than the
better.
pledge
Yes.
prequel.
I think
Yeah.
we all agree.
I think, by the way, this got a 92
Oh,
in CA and got
Slow.
number 2 of the year.
Slow.
But that's 6 points lower than
Yeah.
the pledge.
I'm curious if you buy a box or two of these and let them sit for like 5 years.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What that cigar would taste like.
Yeah.
But
Start to smooth out.
But it tells you EP Carrillo does a really good job.
Are
Yeah.
these?
They
Three
do.
of them are, rated very high.
To your point, there's one thing I've noticed that's common of EP Carrillo, and that all their cigars, and I've only had 3 now, this, the Pledge Prequel, and the Encore Majestic, all of them are very, very smooth cigars, which would suggest that they've aged it for at least a decent period
I was
of time.
about to ask, do they age the tobacco before they roll it?
They,
do we
they
know
must.
that?
I
They
don't
have
know.
to. They have to. The fact that there has not been any aggressive or rough edge in a cigar this flavorful,
Right.
they have to.
Yeah. It's so smooth.
Are you guys ready to rate this thing?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Rooster, what do you give it?
So considering, the price point, all of those things, keeping all of that, I'm going to give this a 9.
Wow.
Wow.
I am-
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I thought I
It's
was
very
going to.
satisfying.
I
It
thought I
is.
was going to be the first 9 tonight, and I'm going to be the second 9 because
Oh boy.
even into the last third here, it is right where I was hoping it would be. This is 10 times better than the Pledge prequel. Start to finish.
Yeah.
I am very impressed. A 9 all day.
Mm-hmm.
This is also shocking for me. As I've been smoking this, I've been toying with an 8 or a 9. And the fact that in the last third, which is where almost every cigar at a lower price point tends to fall apart.
A New
And
World,
To
particularly.
Gizmo's point, the fact that that didn't happen here and it's still as satisfying, I'm also a 9.
I'm a strong 8. I think I had to touch up the cigar a couple of times, and I'm finding a little bit of bitterness towards the end.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not getting that.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I will just say, Pagoda, I'm worried that I've been watching. You're smoking that very fast.
Yes.
He's down in the nub.
I think this cigar, if it heats up too much, that's where
So
you get
that's-
that bitterness.
It's
Maybe
worth
that's
discussing
what it
that.
is.
It's
Yeah.
it's really worth discussing the speed of which you smoke a cigar. It does affect its performance, right? How it delivers the flavor and the burn. And if it gets hot, it could be tough to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly is. The smaller ring gauge you get, the more you pull on it, you're bound to get tar. I'm surprised he's getting bitterness, even if he's smoking these fast.
Yeah.
But maybe the cigar just requires patience in between the draw.
And I've recently learned to be more patient with my cigars.
I
to
think
slow down.
especially cigars with a thick wrapper really benefit from patience. And I say that because again, my opinion, I think that there are some that I've talked to people about this who agree that you get the fullest flavor out of that cigar when it's burning at a cooler temperature, when it's not super high. You think of when we're smoking a Padron Maduro and you just let that cigar sit for a little bit. You know, there's a temptation to just keep puffing. And then you take that puff and the blast of flavor that you get out of that cigar.
Yeah.
I think it really benefits from taking your time.
It's a great habit for the listener
Definitely.
to take note of. Yeah.
All right. So we have a 9 from Rooster, a 9 from me, a 9 from Senator, an 8 from Pagoda, and Bam, what's your number?
I'm at a 9. The cigar's ability to deliver full flavor in a very smooth way. It's just really, it's a very nice, sophisticated, high quality cigar.
Absolutely.
Yep. Worth a 9 rating.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this.
Not at
Me
all.
neither.
Not at all.
Me neither.
Kudos to the listener.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
This is very gratifying that this wasn't money wasted. And I'm also very grateful that a listener reached out to suggest this. Composite score, 8.8.
Wow.
That's a hard recommend.
That's a very strong recommend.
For a cigar that you could potentially buy for under $10.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you is how long ago did you get these?
A week ago.
Okay, so they've only been in your humidor for a week. So
That's it.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I do think that if these were wet, I do think that they'd be a little bit.
Probably.
I don't think we, if they're super humid, the one thing I'll caution the listener, I think the cigar, a little bit more humid would not be as satisfying. I think in
That's-
keeping it under 70, I think you got to keep it under,
That's every stick.
Yeah, it
keep it
is.
down.
These are great notes for the listener. Really, it takes care, right, to have a satisfying cigar.
Well, my takeaway from this is very simple. El Senador always delivers.
Turn his mic off, please.
All right, gentlemen. Very good. An 8.8 for the EP Carrillo La Historia in El Senador. I am shocked. Senator, thank you for the cigars. Pagoda,
Thank you.
thank you for the fantastic Guinness.
Yes, sir.
And that's it for tonight, boys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave us a rating and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any comments, questions, if you want to reach out, say hello, tell us what you're smoking, email us, loungelizardspod, P-O-D, that's loungelizardspod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram @loungelizardspod. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.